Hey everybody, Jim Palmer, the Newsletter Guru and your Dream Business Coach. As always, I am committed to helping you build a more profitable business faster. So I want to talk to you today about a question I get occasionally. It's something I wrote about in my latest book called Decide, the Ultimate Success Trigger. And it's about the 3 different types of entrepreneurs as it relates to their ability to accept risk and therefore go for a big reward. So in the book, I talk about how important it is for entrepreneurs to build their dream business to achieve massive success. You have to be willing to kind of take the chips, push them all into the front of the table, using kind of a gambling metaphor. You know, I think there's 3 types of entrepreneurs. There's a savings account entrepreneur, there's a stock market entrepreneur, and then there's a casino entrepreneur. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, if you think about it, a savings account entrepreneur is the safest. Being in a savings account, if you were to take your money, your investment, let's say you had $1,000, and you take it up to your corner bank, your savings and loan, and you put that $1,000 in there, you can come back 10 years from now, and that money will absolutely be there. You won't lose a dime. As a matter of fact, you'll be able to claim not only the $10,000, you'll be able to claim $1.26 in interest, because that's how low interest is. But it's guaranteed not to go anywhere. That is the lowest risk there is for saving your money, but therefore the lowest risk, the lowest possible return and reward. So it kind of goes hand in hand. The next type of entrepreneur is somebody I call a stock market entrepreneur, and that's somebody who's willing to take their money and not just put it in the savings and loan, but play it in the stock market, so to speak. Is there a possibility you could lose the principal? There is, but it's so remote. I mean, things have to go completely kaflooey to lose your entire... Now, you could take a hit, but therefore, if you don't take a hit and you manage it properly, I mean, history shows, even though there's been some major downturns in the stock market over the last 50 years or so, people can average a nice, healthy return. I think even today, even if you're not super sophisticated, you could probably get 5%, 6, 8, 10%. I know people are going to challenge me, but just that's what you can get, you know, without a significant amount of risk. Some risk, but that risk capitalizes into a bigger reward. And then I think where most highly successful entrepreneurs are, and I'm talking like people you know, whether it's Donald Trump, Richard Branson, you know, people who create these mega companies, those are usually casino operators. Fred Smith of Federal Express, I think, is a great example of a casino operator. He took his chips and he went all in. In other words, when he was pioneering Federal Express in the late 70s and he had this vision of delivering overnight letters, he didn't just buy a used Cessna plane and try out his theory around Kentucky or Tennessee. What he did is he invested in several jets, pilots, ground crews, delivery people on the ground, and he went with a limited number of states, but he's flying jets around, sometimes with 10, 20 mail packages, so at $20 a piece, losing millions and millions and millions of dollars. I think the history says if they blew through their initial round of seed money in like 3 months. So Fred Smith took his chips and went all in. Now, could he have lost big? Absolutely. Could have, you know, lost everything, bankrupt and everything, but he believed so much in his vision, in his dream, in his business that he pushed the chips all in. So that's when I talk about wealth rewards risk, that's what I'm talking about. How much are you willing to risk to grow your dream business? And what I think it comes down to, in my opinion, is when you think about where you are with your business, I think it comes down to one word, and that's conviction. If you believe in your heart, and in your mind, and in your soul, and every fiber of your being that what you offer has value and can change lives and can improve situations for your customers, clients, patients, whatever, then you need to go forward and push the chips all in. If you're selling something, again, product or service, and you don't believe that, or if you're just a little tepid about it, that's gonna ring true, man. People are gonna see that. So, excuse me, you have to figure out if you are totally all in, if you totally believe what you offer has value, if you totally believe it's going to improve, change lives, etc., then at some point you got to draw the line in the sand and say, enough is enough. It's time for me to take my chips and push them all in. You know, there's an expression. It's called when I. I'm gonna actually write about this pretty soon. I'm gonna do I don't know if I'm gonna wait for my next book, but it's called the when I. It's called the when I syndrome. I'm gonna do this when I. I'm gonna do that when I. I'm gonna work with a coach when I. I'm gonna do this when I. I'm gonna join a mastermind group when I. The when I's never happen. because it's always pushed down the road. If you really, really believe in yourself, if you truly believe you have something of value, then push the chips in and do it right now, because you can invest. You can purchase speed in your business. If you're here and you want to be here, you want to get with somebody that's already done that. Find out how they did the journey so you can avoid all the mistakes, none of the guesswork and things like that, so you can invest in speed. The question is, are you willing to risk that investment to get the reward that can come with it? So that's a little bit about risk versus reward. The three types of entrepreneur, again: savings account, stock market, and casino. All the big players, all the major brands are people who have at one point or another drew the line in the sand, took their chips and pushed them in. So you got to think about that. By the way, you can still get a copy of my book, Decide. I will ship you this book, the paperback book. You can have this book for free. The only thing I'll ask you is you pick up the shipping and handling, which is $6.95. It actually cost me a little more than that to print and ship this book to you, but I want you to have it. It's an amazing, amazing book. We're getting some just tremendous feedback. It's changing lives. People, I can't tell you how many people actually said, "You wrote this book for me. I hate you, but thank you," because I call people out on their stuff in this book. But I also share a lot about my stuff, what was holding me back, how I got over it, and how before the day's out. Go do something nice for somebody. One random act of kindness at a time by everybody, including you. If we all do just one thing, just make somebody smile. Everybody, one person, once a day. The world's going to be a much nicer place, and we sorely need that right now. Until next week, another great episode of Newsletter Guru TV. My name is Jim Palmer. I'm your host, and I'm the Newsletter Guru always, but I'm also your dream business coach. Why? Because I'm committed to helping you build a more profitable business faster. You take good care.